Hey guys, Spenny here. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering the moat around government contracts. Palantir, in my opinion, has this secured. This is one of the least risky aspects of their business. And recently I made a video covering their government contracts, and it was alarming at how many people are concerned that Palantir is at risk of losing government contracts moving in the future. So in this video, I'll be presenting facts and data and explain why Palantir is not at risk of losing these contracts. This is really important to grasp if you're new to investing in Palantir or if you actually think this is a significant risk. Before we do get into this video though, guys, make sure to drop it a big thumbs up if you find it informative, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. So just recently, Palantir was selected by the National Nuclear Security Administration for a 5-year, $89.9 million contract for the SAFER project. And I did cover that in my last video. It was this contract right here. Now, this is actually another government agency using Palantir services. So, Palantir will serve as the platform for NNSA's safety analytics, forecasting, and evaluation reporting for the SAFER project. SAFER will help the NNSA in their mission to manage nuclear security by allowing it to best allocate its human and financial resources to prioritize safety. This is Palantir's first contract with the NNSA. Again, that's key. Another first contract with another government agency. Definitely not indicating to me that they are losing these government contracts. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. Our work with the NNSA illustrates Palantir's mission to provide software to the world's most important institutions in support of their most critical work. We are excited to expand our work within the US government and provide the NNSA with high-tech solution to make the best possible use of its resources in support of the nation's nuclear security missions. Now, to get into a bit of this moat, so Palantir was founded in 2003 and started building software for the intelligence community in the United States to assist in counterterrorism investigations and operations. We later began working with commercial enterprises. So Palantir was founded 18 years ago, in 2003, guys. And it was founded to start building software for the intelligence community, specifically the United States, to assist with counterterrorism investigations. That is why Palantir was founded, and they have 18 years of experience working very closely with governments. And not to mention, the type of security clearance that's required is insane for a company to actually work this closely. The moat around just the security clearance makes it very difficult for a company to come in and just overtake Palantir. It's simply not going to happen. And not to mention, the CEO of Palantir has talked about the unwillingness of Silicon Valley to actually help out the government. Companies just don't want to work with the government because they think it looks bad. So there's a lot of things going for Palantir, and really we have 18 years of supportive data. Every year that we're working with the government, that moat and that relationship with the government just builds stronger and stronger. I don't know at what point some people will be satisfied that this isn't a risk. Is that going to be 30 years, 50 years? I mean, I see 18 years of very supportive data, building relationships with governments around the world, and just the security clearance that's required makes this really safe, in my opinion. And so really there's no reason to all of a sudden fear Palantir of losing government contracts when they've been doing this for 18 years. There is no supportive data out there that would back up your claim that Palantir is going to lose these contracts anytime soon. There is nothing indicating towards that. And so for the government institutions, Palantir has built two principal software platforms, Palantir Gotham and Palantir Foundry. Gotham, our first software platform, was constructed for analysts at defense and intelligence agencies. They were hunting for needles not in one, but in thousands of haystacks. And they did not have the software they needed to do their jobs. In Afghanistan and Iraq, soldiers were mapping networks of insurgents and makers of roadside bombs by hand Gotham enables users to identify patterns hidden deep within data sets, ranging from signals intelligence sources to report the confidential informants and help US and allied military personnel find what they're looking for. Now, the reason why people are concerned is because Palantir has a large portion of their revenue that comes from the governments. So, of the 1.1 billion in revenue that we generated in 2020, 56% came from customers in the government segment and 44% came from customers in the commercial segment. Now, something to note here, yes, 56% of their revenue right now is coming from government, but they've been doing this for 18 years and they later got in the commercial space. And really, by Palantir going public now, they're going to be pushing that commercial side of the revenue way harder now. And so now they're a publicly traded company. I do expect that their revenue from the commercial segment to surpass the government side. And I expect that to surpass it by quite a bit. So for those who are just still concerned about the government contracts, this is going to become less relevant over the next 10 years. You're going to see commercial spending really outpace government spending, in my opinion. And so another fact to look at here, in 2020, we earned 52% of our revenue from customers in the United States and 48% from those abroad. The expansion of our core business outside the United States has continued in recent years, particularly in Europe and Asia. And the platforms are being used in more than 150 countries. So this is a very global company. Yes, a lot of their revenue does come from governments, but they are working with over 150 different countries, lots of different governments, and expanding very fast into the commercial segment. And so in my opinion, the government contract worries that some investors have is not warranted, and this is just going to become less relevant over time. And I do actually expect government spending to really increase in the next 10 years as well. If we look here at this fact, so more data is created every hour today than in an entire year 20 years ago. More data will be created in the next 3 years than in the prior 30 years combined. So data, I've talked about this in previous videos, it is going to explode moving forward, and companies all around the world and government agencies are going to need to utilize this data more than ever so before. And we are really just at the start of this new revolution. And so anyways, guys, that is just some of my thoughts around government contracts. Now, I do expect to still get comments of people not agreeing with this thesis. But if you are going to disagree with this thesis, make sure to comment down below some of the facts on why you disagree. At least if you do that, then I can try to understand where you're coming from instead of just disagreeing for the sake of disagreeing. So moving on to the chart now, Palantir has a few wedges forming. This is one wedge that I've drawn here. I actually expect to see an explosive move in the stock very soon. As this wedge becomes more and more constricted, we're going to see an explosive move either to the upside or downside. Now, in my opinion, we are going to see a move higher, and that's probably coming within the next week. So be prepared for that. I do expect us to not be trading in the low 20s very soon. We're either going to explode higher or lower. I do expect us to explode up to around the $28 range. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Hope you appreciated the little update here. If you did, make sure to drop the video a big thumbs up and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I'll see you guys on the next video.